Imagine you just finished writing the next great American novel, composed a song that could top the charts, or created artwork that speaks to your soul. You're proud, you're excited, and then someone steals it. They publish it under their name, make money for your creativity, and suddenly your life's work becomes their claim to fame. This nightmare scenario happens to creators every single day. But today, I'm going to show you exactly how to protect yourself and your creative works through proper copyright registration. I'm Santiago Cueto, a board-certified international business law expert and best-selling author who has spent nearly 3 decades helping creators protect their intellectual property. I've seen too many talented artists, writers, and innovators lose their rights simply because they didn't understand the copyright process. But here's the good news. Protecting your work is easier than you think, and the benefits are enormous. Let's start with something that might surprise you. The moment you put pen to paper, brush to canvas, or fingers to a keyboard, your work is automatically protected by copyright law. That's right, you don't need to do anything special to have copyright protection. Your creative expression is protected the instant it becomes fixed in a tangible medium, which is legal speak for being written down, recorded, or saved on your computer. But here's where most people get confused. There is a massive difference between having automatic copyright protection and registering your copyright with the U.S. Copyright Office. Think of automatic copyright as having a lock on your door, while registration is like having a security system, cameras, and a direct line to the police. Both provide protection, but one gives you serious firepower when someone tries to steal from you. Registration transforms your copyright from a basic shield into a legal weapon. When you register your work before infringement occurs or within 3 months of publication, you unlock what lawyers call statutory damages. Instead of having to prove exactly how much money you lost, which can be nearly impossible, you can receive between $750,000 and $30,000 per work that was infringed on. And if the infringement was willful, meaning they knew they were stealing and did it anyway, that number jumps up to $150,000 per work. That's pretty powerful. Let me put this in perspective. Imagine someone steals your self-published novel and sells a few hundred copies. Without registration, you might only recover the small profit they made from those sales, maybe $100, let's say. With registration, however, you can receive tens of thousands of dollars, plus they have to pay your attorney's fees. That's the difference between a slap on the wrist and real justice. The registration process itself is straightforward and won't break the bank. You can register your work online through the Electronic Copyright Office for just $45. If you're registering multiple unpublished works, you can actually register up to 10 works together for the same fee. The process typically takes 3 to 9 months, but your protection begins the moment your application is received. Here's what you need to do. First, go to copyright.gov and click on the registration portal. Create an account if you don't have one. Choose the type of work you're registering: literary works for books and articles, visual arts for photographs and artwork, performing arts for music and scripts. Fill out the online form with details about your work, including the title, creation date, and author information. Then comes the crucial part. You must submit a copy of your work. For most digital works, you can upload them directly through the system. For published physical works, you'll need to mail the best edition to the Library of Congress. Don't worry about them keeping your work. This deposit requirement helps build the national collection and serves as proof of what you created. Now let me address the biggest mistake I see creators make. They wait. They think they'll register someday or when the work becomes successful. This is like buying insurance after your house burns down. You need to register before infringement happens, or at least within the critical 3-month window after publication. Every day you wait is a day you're vulnerable to losing those powerful statutory damages. I also want to debunk a persistent myth. Some people think mailing a copy of the work to themselves creates legal protection, the so-called poor man's copyright. This provides zero legal protection. The Copyright Office explicitly states this is not a substitute for registration. Don't trust your creative future to superstition when real protection costs less than a nice dinner out. For those of you building creative businesses, copyright registration creates valuable assets. You can license your registered works, sell them, or use them as collateral. If you're setting up a publishing company or creative studio, These registrations become part of your company's intellectual property portfolio, adding real value to your business. The international implications are also important. While copyright registration primarily protects you in the United States, America is part of international treaties that provide reciprocal protection in most countries worldwide. Register here and you're protected virtually everywhere. Here's my final piece of advice. Make registration part of your creative workflow. Every time you finish a work you're proud of, register it immediately. Don't wait for publication. Don't wait for success. Don't wait for anything. In our digital age, works can be shared, stolen, and distributed globally within minutes. Your best defense is having that copyright registration certificate in hand before anyone even knows your work exists. Copyright registration isn't just about legal protection. It's about respecting your own creativity enough to defend it. You pour your heart, soul, and countless hours into your work. Don't let someone else profit from your talent while you watch helplessly from the sidelines. The tools are available, the cost is minimal, and the protection is maximum. Your creativity deserves nothing less than the strongest legal protection available. Register your copyrights, protect your future, and keep creating with confidence. If this information helped you protect your creative works, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more practical legal insights that every creator needs to know. Your intellectual property is your future. Make it stay yours. See you in the next one.